Good morning. Afternoon.
Nothing. I don't know. Should we get started? I was trying to get other people to join, but I don't know how many we'll be able to. We got a few notes from our Slack thread, Lance, that we can mention a few things, but I can't speak to anything really. I guess let's start. I don't. Lance, can you take notes maybe? Or
Yes, I can take notes.
Try. Okay. All right. Well, let's get going. I'll try my best. As far as 327.1, my understanding is that it's expected this week. I think there's still
This week or
some.
next?
Yeah.
Probably more likely next, but
Okay.
very, very soon now.
All right. Yeah, I didn't copy all the, well, actually, yeah. Lance, do you know, was there anything in particular in that patch release?
There's an operator fix to not check the MTU on down interfaces.
Okay.
There's Golang updates. Pedro is saying in the chat there's several fixes.
Windows BGP on operator. Okay.
I better write these down.
Yeah. Actually, I guess I could share that. I think we used to do that. We used to share the meeting minutes. Oh, actually, I guess I should. Where'd my window go? Oh, come on. And this Zoom bar is bigger than it shows it should be. I was going to send it in the chat if I can bring the chat up now. Oh, IP versions updated to 1.8.8. And some miscellaneous BPF fixes. Thank you, Pedro. He's joined, but he's commuting to work, so that's why he's not joining and talking, I believe. So yeah, so that's a good set. All right. So sneak peek on 328. Uh, the expectation right now is in March. Looks like, I don't know, maybe the second half. I think perhaps a code freeze type date on March 8th. I'm not quite sure how long after that we would expect the release to be out. But I'd definitely say probably at least a week later. Yeah. Let's see, did we have any headline features on that? Oh yeah, eBPF dual stack support is definitely expected. Let's see, I don't think there was any. Oh well, Lance, you had that. Whoops, I shouldn't share that list. That is internal. Oh, cool. Enable multiple IP pool at install time. I think that's probably building off or mainly some work that Casey had been working on to kind of make the operator be better with IP pools. It he's added a new IP pool controller, and so it's and came up with some mechanisms for managing those through the operator, but still being able to manage them through the normal IP pool resource. So that'll be nice to have that. Looks like maybe some GitOps support, or not support, but being at making Calico policy better compatible with that. Some smoothing out some stuff with the eBPF and operator. I think some of the switching with it or enabling eBPF can be a bit bumpy sometimes, so there's work going on to make that better. I already mentioned dual stack support, but I guess with that is IPv6. I guess it's not GA or right now, or is it even available right now? I don't.
It's available right now. It's not GA.
Okay.
So at the moment, 327 has IPv6 only, and yeah, and dual stack is coming in 328.
Cool.
IPv6 only is quite limiting.
Yeah. Kind of cut you off from some stuff. Like some optimizations in the IP tables, and what? Oh, some. Yeah, actually, I don't. Not sure the scope of this other one.
Is this the delaying pod startup until, or pod readiness until the data plane until policy has been applied to it?
Yeah. All right. Okay, that's the list I have.
So I know a
For
tiny bit about that last one. So the issue is that when you start up pods, as soon as they're declared ready, they get added to like any services that they're part of. But a pod being ready doesn't mean that it's networked. So Calico asynchronously, so the CNI plugin creates the pod, and then later Felix applies policy to the pod. And until Felix applies policy, there's a default deny in place. And so you can get the situation where a pod has come up and the service thinks it's ready and starts trying to route traffic to it, and that traffic fails because the pod, because the networking isn't actually up. And so this will delay the pod declaring readiness until after the policy is applied, to avoid that nasty window.
And that's usually not a. It's not really. It's not usually too much of a concern because it's usually pretty quick, right? But this
Yes.
is for like heavily loaded
Yes.
stuff.
And it's not zero, right? So, even if it was only a
Yeah.
millisecond or so, you can still have a millisecond's worth of failures, and that's not always acceptable.
Yeah. All right. That's a good list. So let's move on to operator. I was trying to think about this. I know I've gotten some recently, like this week. Got a PR merge from a external contributor for improving or addressing some issues with migrations with the operator. So going from a manifest install to an operator install. It was around Taifa and the way that gets scale, or well, it'll handle nodes being broken, like a bad node. It'll help with that. But it was around the way Taifa is scaled. Let's see, is there another thing? I thought there was something else. He had submitted a couple things. I can't remember if they were both related to the migration. I think they were. I should have written a note down because I thought there was another thing I thought of. I know there's. Oh wait, what was that on? Sorry, guys. Yeah, if I think of it, I'll come back. We can come back to it, and I'll mention it. Yeah. Sorry. Nathan, did you have anything from VPP land?
Sure. So first, and sorry, I was not there. I wasn't able to make last time because of some other so personal activities that took quite some time for me. Anyway, happy to be in GA for Calico VP. So we're very happy to be GA. We are now pursuing a bit less new features and a bit more stabilization and use cases. So supporting people who try out the solution, try to do some performance optimizations, trying to support benchmarks and so on. On the feature fronts, we are still pursuing a few things with for AWS support, enhancing a bit performance there, and also some things related to VCL and mostly VCL. So some bug fixes here and there, but so probably less. A bit less rating features and more hopefully not that many hot fixes if we find any, and also supporting testers. So hopefully not breaking the CI and harassing Lance too much.
Okay, well that's good. Yeah, I'm glad to have you have the VPP GA now. That's awesome. I was gonna try to get back. All right. Yeah, Calico Con and CubeCon. This is, which one is this, Lance? This is EU? Is that?
Definitely EU.
Yeah.
No,
Thought I saw that was in Paris. Yeah.
yep.
Or France.
It's-
Yeah. Do you know when it is exactly, Lance? Is it
I've
before
got
it or
yes, it's the day before KubeCon.
okay?
Um, oh, how do I paste that without
It's
formatting?
like
There we go.
March 19th.
So yes, March 19th, Courtyard by Marriott, Paris, Port de Versailles.
Cool.
It was a good pronunciation.
What? All right.
Now I was commenting on the pronunciation.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I almost certainly
So
butchered
yeah, no worries. No, I was saying I was very good. So
that.
All right. Yeah. I don't. I mean, yeah.
So I
Let's
believe that
see. You gonna? Do we have the link? Yeah. Let's add the link to the doc for anybody.
so I believe Sean will be there, and I think Thomas as well, to talk about BPF and. Is anyone going from your team, Dave?
I don't believe so. We don't have passes for the event. I believe they are required, sort of required. So yeah, we won't be attending the Kikuno Journal. I think we have so Cisco is hosting also an event as well. So I
Mhm.
don't know if this is going to conflict or not. But it's not Cisco, but the innovation team we are part of. We are hosting some event. So
Will you be
yeah.
at KubeCon? Do you think? I mean, there'll be some
Eh,
from your team at KubeCon though.
no, so at KubeCon itself, no, not that
Oh,
I'm
okay.
aware of.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool. Um. Yeah. Okay. I think that's. I don't know that there's any more to say on that. So, does anybody have any hot issues?
Yes, there's a memory leak in the Calico API server, I think, in 3.27.0. That's one of the fixes in 3.27.1.
Oh, okay. Cool. All right.
That was down to adding open telemetry, I think. And yeah,
Cool. Because I was it. Did we find that because of what my team found, or was that completely unrelated? I think it was unrelated because I think it was already fixed.
yes, it was definitely reported in Project Calico repo,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
and I think that was the first report of it.
Okay. Yeah.
But yes, obviously it affects a lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, you adding a note, Lance, or I don't. Yeah. Okay. If I can find. So I guess it's probably already closed then, huh? The issue.
Yes, yeah, you would think.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's see if I can find that and add that later. Um, yeah. Yeah. Anything else? I mean, I would say there's a hot issue on the migration, but I don't really think that many people are hitting that. But I think it's a nice little fix that's coming in with that. I know there's been some issues with the operator. We Casey added the ability or made it so that uninstall with the Helm operator install would work. I know at least one user was, well, actually, I don't even, I guess that was that, that wasn't even a GitHub issue. I think it was in Slack. They were just rendering it, and I guess when you just Helm template, it renders everything, and part of this uninstall was a new job that was only supposed to happen when you do the uninstall hook. So I mean, I know there's a little issue there that not real sure how we rectify that. But I think that's a interesting, I don't know, a new thing that Helm seems to do a little
To be fair, I don't
odd
think we
to me.
support that in the docs. So
Yeah, yeah. I
I-
mean,
I'm going to claim
yeah.
that the user was a little bit off-piste here, but
But yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't. But they were. Well, let's see. Were they doing it with Argo? Didn't they suggest, or did they suggest they were doing it with Argo? Because I think Argo does the same thing. I think Argo uses Helm template. I don't think that, which means this would be a problem with Argo also. So, and I think that's a pretty standard way to use a Helm template or a Helm chart. So it might be something we need to look at. Yeah. I don't have anything else off the top of my head. Anybody have any other hot issues?
welcome, Neil.
Yeah.
I'm afraid you've joined just at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I just
Did you have something you wanted to bring up or hear
yeah,
about?
like I need to talk about like how I can contribute to community of Calico, as I am a big cat ambassador also. So I wanted to like how I can contribute and involve with the community.
Okay. Well, I make sure you're part of the Slack in our Slack. I mean, if you're Calico
Yeah,
knowledgeable, feel free to jump in on questions there, and the GitHub issues. Can always appreciate
And
any help there.
yeah, come and join us in Slack. Say hi to me, and I'll connect you with Reza, who will help
yeah,
you integrate.
and they're on Slack.
All right. Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, you can continue. Like I just came up like
Oh no.
and
Well,
wanted
I think
to.
we're done. That's why. That's why I was. I didn't want to have you join and say bye.
Sorry, I was late.
All right. Lance. I mean, you've been to these as much as I have. Anything else?
I think that's everything.
Yeah. All right. Thanks everybody for joining.
Cool. See you next month.
See you next. Yep.
No, bye.